I would like for them to justify their vote for Senate Bill 480 from last year, eliminating trans health care and gender-affirming care for teenagers. I have a teenage son who received trans health care that saved his life. The American Medical Association and all 31 major medical groups condemned the legislation. I've given some letters out that I wrote to both of them explaining just how important this care is. Yet they both voted to take it away. In this county, we have at least 25 families with trans kids that can no longer receive the care they were receiving at Riley Hospital. I just want some accountability before we hear all about the things that they talked about last year that did not include cultural war issues like that. So how do you justify a vote that goes against the American Medical Association? How do you do it? Justify it.
Well,
Let him speak. Let him speak. I want to hear it. I've been waiting a year for this. Justify.
We have waited over a year to speak to them because they will not show up for us. They will not talk to us. They will not respond to us. This is our moment for us.
In this community, every day, 60 to 80 kids and their families come in my office. I care for these kids. I have a degree in biology and I'm in healthcare. Yet these two guys are making decisions that affect our healthcare. I just want to hear them justify it before they tell you all the great things we're going to do next year.
can we do this? I will.
Let's do it right now. Let's do it right now.
Can we do?
They can speak.
It'll still take the same amount of time. Just let them
They're grown
answer.
men.
I know.
Can they not justify themselves?
I
Just have them justify
absolutely.
themselves and I'll leave.
I understand. I just want to make sure that we follow the course that we've set. Like I said, there'll be time for questions.
I said there would be an opportunity to interact with
We
our
just want them
There
to
is-
answer, and we will leave. Then we'll be out of your hair.
I know.
Right.
Can we at least do it in order? We're going to go through that one in.
Let's do it in this order and get it over with.
Chance up.
Yeah.
I'll speak.
Okay.
First, we have these events to speak specifically of legislation that's going on, in this calendar year. But to go back and speak to the legislation that's in question this morning. And how I answer that is that that specific bill went through the legislative process, went through committee, got committee approval, went through 2 readings on the House floor. Again, it was assigned.
But you believed in it.
To the Senate.
You can give me all that political garbage, but you believe that was the right thing to
That's
do.
not political garbage.
No, you
That's
voted for
that's
it.
the
Did you believe in what you voted for?
That's the
Did
legislative.
you
document.
believe in what you voted for?
My vote stands for the bill.
So you believe that you know more about this than the American Medical Association, American Psychiatric Association, American Pediatric Association, all of us families that have kids that have been receiving this care. You know more about it than them.
No.
Then why would you vote for something that you don't understand?
The legislation as written is what I supported and I vote. I recognize.
So you
it.
believe that gender-affirming care should be taken away from teenagers?
It's not based on my personal beliefs.
You don't vote for your own personal beliefs. You say you don't vote for your own personal beliefs. Why is that? You represent us, not national hate groups. You understand that, right? You represent me, her family, their family, all of our families. We live here in Lawrence County. We want to be a welcoming place for everyone, for our teens, for our kids. Why do you think they all move away when they graduate from high school? This is a Chamber of Commerce event, right? I'm an orthodontist. I depend on kids and teenagers growing up here with families that live here. When you chase people away with hate, then how am I going to survive as an orthodontist? Why would my kids stay here? They want nothing to do with this. You don't vote for what you believe in, then why? Is it power, corruption? Why would you vote for something you don't believe in? We all want you to vote for what you believe in. Eric, we want you to vote for what you believe in. I've treated 3 of your kids, right? I gave them the best possible care like they were my own children. Yet I write you a letter saying, please protect my kid and other kids just like him. And you do nothing. You don't call me. Neither one of you do a thing. You even voted after that. So Tell me why you would do that.
We actually begged you to contact us. Neither one of you did. Why is that? Why can't you respond?
Over 50% of kids with gender issues either contemplate suicide or try to commit suicide. 50%.
Is there current legislation, or have you proposed additional legislation in the coming year?
How about you repeal Senate Bill 480 that's currently blocked by a federal judge? Why is it blocked by a federal judge? Because it's unconstitutional. You guys are the party of freedom and the party of parental rights, correct? Then why would you take away my right to decide what my child needs? You took it away. Against the medical consensus. The Medical Malpractice Act says that doctors have to treat to the standards of the American Medical Association. Yet your law forces them to treat against the recommendations of the American Medical Association. How can you even justify that? You go on and talk about small government, families, let families decide, keep the government out of our lives. Yet this is a complete intrusion in our lives that's 100% against all science because of one political group that comes in and lobbies and drops money at the doorstep. That's the only way this legislation gets through. So justify it. Justify it. Eric, justify it. You got anything to say?
I was going to say one thing. The legislator who carried that bill in the Senate was a physician. Was an MD.
Okay, so?
And spent a lot of time with him. I
Uh-huh.
listened to all sides. I read their correspondence. We received a lot of correspondence.
Uh-huh.
And listening to all sides and experts, I made the decision I thought was correct.
So the American Medical Association says gender-affirming care is medically necessary evidence-based care that improves the physical and mental health of transgender and gender-diverse people. But the one guy that you talk to, who's also, I assume, a Republican like you, talked you into it. Is that what you're saying? There have been 2,000 scientific studies over 50 years confirming that this is appropriate care. 2,000 studies, 50 years. But somebody talked you into it. You could have Googled it and in 10 seconds known the answer to this, right? How are you protecting our kids? How are you going to protect our kids?
Todd, I appreciate your passion and what you're trying to accomplish and your love for your child. And I also have to let the other people in the community hear and what's going on. I would ask that
let's just wrap this up then. So last year at this time, did you say anything about taking away care for trans kids or for attacking LGBTQ groups? Did you say anything about that here? Does this thing say anything about it? Do any of the mailers say anything about it? Why was that your focus? How did it become your focus? Governor Holcomb said we were not going to do that last year. Do you remember that? He said we're not going down that path, and you did it anyway. So how can we believe anything you're going to say today? That this is your focus, that that's what you're doing for the community. How can we believe any words you say? How?
Thank you, Todd.
How are we going to do it?
Can we? I think it's time. Well, I know you got your point across. Thanks, I appreciate it.
I think that's fair enough. For you and for everybody else, that you're doing the right thing. I've said my piece. My wife would love to say her piece, but she's too nervous to do that. I just ask that you think about what these guys say and how they affect our community, what's important to our community, what's important to our families. Thank you.